I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Jonathan Ovadia, the CEO of AEXLAB. Jonathan, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time.
No, thank you so much, Ashton. I'm a big fan, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Pleasure to have you on. The gaming space in blockchain, NFTs, and the metaverses are blowing up right now. And I know your team's working on something really interesting in this space specifically. So I would love to kick it off by hearing a little bit more from you about what is AEXLAB, what are you working on in the industry, and what solutions are you bringing?
Awesome. So I'm one of the three founders of AEXLAB. AEXLAB is a virtual reality game development studio. We've been working on our signature product called Vail VR. Vail VR started off as a first-person competitive shooter and has organically evolved into a first-person shooter plus sandbox experience. What that means is the second you get into the game, you're dropped off into your virtual home, and it's up to the player to decide what they want to do from that point. If they want to invite friends to their home just to hang out, chill, play mini games, play sports, do fitness, host events, or they can click on play match and then jump into the competitive scene, which is team deathmatch, surf and destroy, and all those regular fun goodies that a lot of gamers are used to.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And you know what? I've actually had that experience as a former gamer playing team deathmatch or first person shooter, and you're just going to the map and then you just respawn at the beginning and it goes over and over again and you get bored eventually. You're looking for some customization. And I think, metaverses and being able to integrate different things into the game, and as well your own items, which I know you're working on something like that as well, is really going to probably increase the amount of people that want to play and probably the length of time that they're going to spend on the game as well.
Yeah, so talking a little bit about that, what ended up happening is we started building out this quote unquote metaverse thing where everyone could own things in their house and design it any way that they want. But what really got me excited is when this whole NFT craze came out, and I'll be the first to admit that I was a skeptical guy. And then I realized I'm 26 years old. I'm not going to be a boomer. Let me really look into it, right? Because, Bitcoin was a boomer thing. The internet was a boomer thing. All these things that people keep saying are scams end up taking over our entire lives, and we can't live without these things today. So I said to myself, 26 years old, let me take a look into this. What is this thing? And I started looking under the hood, and it got me really excited because I realized all an NFT really is it's a form of ownership. Do you own your digital items on, an immutable blockchain that can't be edited? Or do you think you own your items and the game studio has a centralized server and they decide that you own it, and at any moment they can just take it away from you, which has happened many times. So with that being said, I started realizing that this virtual home, these virtual spaces we were designing, all of the items within these worlds could be NFTs. They could be owned instead of in our server on the blockchain. Why is that important now, right? It's important because that gives the users the actual ability to not only own them, but be able to freely transfer them around to other worlds, other VR destinations, other virtual homes. And this concept of interoperability, now that got me really excited because as a gamer, I started thinking I never collected Pokemon cards. I wish I did, but I definitely collected Pokemon, right? And they're nowhere to be seen. And if they were NFTs and instead of being owned on Nintendo, who knows where, I would have owned it on an immutable blockchain, I'd probably have tens of millions of dollars of Pokemon that I could have sold today. And if I didn't want to sell them because they were sentimental to me, I could have at least shown my children, hey, look, your dad had Pikachu, he had this, he had that, but I don't have anything to show for it. I have 20 years of gaming and I have nothing to show for it. So really starting to think about these things got me really excited. A few other things that gets me excited about NFT specifically with VR and the metaverse is at the end of the day, when people see these headline news, PFPs, they sell for millions of dollars, they don't really realize you're not buying a PFP. You are, but what you're really buying is you're buying into a community. You're buying into a club of people that all share similar ideas as you, and that's what you're purchasing. You're purchasing a lifelong membership that has value, it has liquidity because you can sell it. And what made me excited is thinking about actually building out something more than just a Discord, a Telegram, a WhatsApp group chat, which is just, it's text, right? It's so 20 years ago, really. I used to do that 20 years ago. So I started thinking, why not build out virtual reality social spaces that the only way to actually enter is by verifying that you own this NFT. And that got me really excited. So the NFT drop that we're doing that actually comes out on Tuesday, November 30th on metadrop.com, we're actually going to be showing, it's essentially a proof of concept of what NFT technology can mean and be in the metaverse. So one, it's going to be an interactable 3D VR asset. It's not just going to be a profile picture. You're actually going to be able to go touch it, play it. It's called Vailiens. So think Pokemon. I love Pokemon, by the way, as you can tell. So think Pokemon, but inside of our game, you can battle them, race them, do a bunch of things. The second thing is it's going to serve as a lifelong battle pass that will allow us to actually airdrop you in-game items that are really yours to forever to own. The third is it's going to give you access to something called the Veil Citadel, which is going to be a members club for all the NFT community to come in and hang out with friends. I went to a spot in NFT NYC. I waited in line for 2 hours. I didn't get in. They were oversubscribed. And these are people that had very expensive JPEGs, and they still weren't let in. I thought it was that night that I said, we're going to do this virtual reality space. Never wait in line again. If you own the NFT, you're 100% welcome. Be in your boxers in your house. Go hang out with your friends. It should not be a stressful situation. And then the fourth thing is we're really looking to partner with all the other VR studios to be able to adopt this open, borderless metaverse concept so that all of our items can go into their worlds and vice versa. We want to give users the freedom to decide where they want to spend their time with the items that they've earned, purchased, or collected over time.
Definitely. Yeah. Great explanation, Jonathan. And you're right about so many people spending 20 years in gaming and having nothing to show for it. You know, I can say the same for myself. And if only they had that technology back then that you could keep your assets and be able to sell them, earn money on them, or just keep them for sentimental value in a place that you know is not going to be destroyed. And right now, it seems in this part of 2021, the metaverses are blowing up and people are starting to realize, you know, along with Facebook changing their name to Meta and creating the metaverse, the decentralized metaverses are growing rapidly. Your team is working on that, but you've also been working on it for a long time. And I know you've been a lifelong gamer, but specifically with AEXLAB, you've been working on this for a long time. I'd love for you to talk about just a little bit of the backstory and how you started it and how long you've been working on it up till now.
It's actually very funny that you just asked me this question. I've been asked this question so many times. From the outside, people think I'm a genius. And the truth is, it's not true. And I openly say this because myself, I idolize so many top-level executives that I finally have been able to get into the room with them. And I meet them and I'm like, you're just a regular dude. And they're like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, we're all just regular dudes. So I actually just made almost like 100 tweet thread on @AEXLAB Inc. on Twitter. I highly recommend you go read it. But the short story is I was in school. I didn't come from much money. My brother had a music studio, indie studio. There was no money in it, but he'd give me $500 a month to help him out. And I did all the business management. I'd do all the bookings. I'd help with the shows. One thing led to another, and the Oculus came out, right? The first VR headset that my team got, they got the development kits for it. The initial concept was we want to make VR music video experiences. We want people to not only listen to our music, but be able to immerse themselves in the artist's vision. And we did release in 2017 on Steam something called Water Planet. It's an EP by one of our artists and my sister, Future Virgo. It came out really well. But at the time, I would go touring around showing people every single person that put on a VR headset was blown away. How do I get this? And then when you tell them, oh, you get a PC and a rig and all the tech, it wasn't that good and very expensive. That was a really big barrier to entry. I had a thought, right? Facebook bought Oculus in 2014, so it wasn't rocket science. I had a thought. I'm like, okay, massive company's going to buy this. They're probably going to try to make the hardware more affordable. I didn't expect it to come as soon as it did, but it did. So now, instead of spending $3,000-$4,000 and needing to know how to use a PC, which, by the way, I was a console guy. I only got into PCs because I needed to learn for VR, and it was a big learning hurdle, so I'm very well aware of that. But now with the Oculus Quest 2 for $300, it's cheaper than an iPhone. It's cheaper than a PlayStation. You can't even get a PlayStation if you want. Cheaper than an X. It's one of the most affordable forms of entertainment. That really accelerated everything. And we just decided to make a game in 2017 because there was no money in the music thing. My whole team were all obsessed with gaming. And with the VR music experience, it's one of those things that you can only play one time. So people would buy it, rate it 5 stars, and then refund it after they played the experience. I was like, we're fucked here. But with the multiplayer game, as long as you keep putting out content, you have something fun, it's playable forever. So I just wanted to build something where you could play forever and just be immersed in it forever, not like a one-time experience. And fast forward 4 years, we're coming full circle. We're now doing in-game concerts, raves, festivals. So because it started off as a VR music experience, we ended up building out all the multiplayer net code for the competitive shooter and realized we have the best damn net code in the industry. Let's put it back in. So we have a plan for 3D scanning artists, doing live raves, events with like a lot of famous DJs and celebrities. There's so much cool stuff you can do with this. I took a note from Fortnite, right? Fortnite started doing these pre-recorded 3-minute experiences with Travis Scott and Ariana Grande. And I thought to myself, awesome, we're in 2021. This should be live and in VR with your friends and not pre-recorded. Mm-hmm. So a lot of ideas, we're a mosh pit of random ideas, but at the end of the day, hey, what's the world, right? You can do so many things as long as you have an idea for it. So that's kind of what our philosophy inside of our VR metaverse. And the last thing that I want to add is we realize that there's so many more ideas than we can think of there's so much more ideas out there than we can personally think of. So we're really focused on building out these creator toolkits and kind of giving an open sandbox where we're saying, hey guys, we know that we don't know everything you want and we don't have the bandwidth for it if we even did. So here's some tools. This is your VR home. You have all the basics. Build whatever you want, do whatever you want, own your assets. This is the future of Web3 and gaming. And we're really, really excited about that. I know it's been 6 years in development, but it takes a long time to make a game.
Definitely. No, especially one where you're in the game and you're able to build the game yourself while you're in it and customize it. There's a lot of functionality that needs to go into that. But I know that there's been some success so far already and with what's live. And I would love to get more of the viewers involved and interested in playing it. Can you talk about exactly where you're at right now? What are the requirements for people to start getting into the game?
Yeah, all you need is a VR headset. We're on Steam. You join our Discord at discord.gg/VailVR. We're always giving out access keys there, or on Steam, you can just search VailVR and request access, and we let people in waves there. This Sunday, we're actually hosting a tournament with IVRL. It's one of the best VR esport leagues. It's going to be going live at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, the 28th. So we're already getting played by some of the top VR esport players in the world. I'm very proud of that. The competitive side of the game is pretty rock solid right now. We're just going to start adding more content, more guns, more levels, more things like that. But everything works perfectly, thank God. I know it sounds crazy, but like the fact it works, I'm just like, yes. That's like the big milestone. The game either works or it doesn't, right? And now what we're really focusing on in 2022 is just building out all these creator toolkits, building out the whole Vail social aspect. We have a lot of things in store. We started already a little bit where we have like Vail Hockey, for example, Vail Club, Vail Art, but there's so much more. We want full Vail Sports. We want full Vail Music and Arts. Right now you can play pre-recorded music from other artists like there. We want to make it so you can actually have your own virtual reality DJ equipment. You can actually make your own music the same way you do on Ableton Live, but inside of our games. So there's so much stuff. I mean, one thing that VCs, right, you talk about investments, they always ask me, what's your exit strategy? I have so many things that I want to build. I have zero intention or plan to exit. I really imagine being able to build until the day I die. There's just an infinite amount of things that have to be built in VR. So I'm very excited about that. We're always live on Discord with our community, and we're very active, always listening to people and just building out really cool things.
Very cool. And that's amazing. Yeah, with endless possibilities in VR, you can literally just keep building forever.
Yeah. That's why you need to give people a tool so they can also help build, because there's no other way.
Definitely. You can't do it by yourself. Very cool, Jonathan. And you mentioned at the beginning about the NFT drop. I wanted to go back to that and just learn a little bit more. So people have to be in the game. This is on Tuesday. What are the requirements? How exactly can they get the NFTs? And is it something that is going to sell out right away? You actually
don't need to be in the game. We're going to be doing it on a website called metadrop.com. Meta, M-E-T-A, drop, D-R-O-P, metadrop.com. You just connect your wallet. We built out one of the most interesting auction mechanics that has never been done before. We're very excited about it. That could be a whole hour spiel on it, but if you just go on the website, it goes live November 30th, midnight. November 29th at midnight, November 30th, Tuesday. Very excited about it. I highly recommend you at least take a look, because it's going to be a show. We're doing a 3-day auction, so it's not like most NFT drops where I'm always about user experience, right? And every time I did an NFT drop, you have 2-3 minutes, if anything. You're paying more in gas than you are for the actual NFT itself. Most people that get in are the people that are willing to spend crazy amounts of gas, and then they end up flipping it on the secondary market, making the people that really want it paying a ton more. So we're doing a 3-day auction. There's no stress. There's no gas wars. You go in, you place your bid. We have a really interesting mechanic where, for example, we're doing 6,000 NFTs. It's 6 different breeds, 1,000 per breed. So you can essentially think of it as 6 simultaneous auctions. If you end up bidding on one of these auctions, the top 1,000 bids per auction at the end of the 3 days will get it. And for example, if you really want it, you can go throw up 100 ETH bid. Well, whatever the 1,000th bid is, that's what everyone's going to pay. So you can feel confident that if you really want it, throw a crazy bid on it. You're going to pay whatever the floor. There's no price discrimination here. There's no stress. 3 days, everybody around the world has some time zone that has access to it. And you're not going to spend a lot of money on gas because you're just signing. And then we're going to mint them after the auction ends in a very slow manner, just so that no one wastes money on gas. It's really a big issue. One of my buddies, the one that actually made the platform, he did his NFT drop last month, raised a crazy amount, and had one of the lowest amount of gas fees in the industry. And that was really awesome. Very excited about being on this platform, metadrop.com.
Amazing, Jonathan. And yeah, great innovation with the auction. It is a huge bother to be paying hundreds of dollars and eliminates a lot of people and gamers from allowing to get it. And the people that actually want to get it actually have time, especially with something this cool like the new Pokemon. I'm actually going to go take a look at it and see what I like. So thank you for that information. I will leave that all in the description box below as well, and everything about AEXLAB. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm looking forward to joining you in the game in the metaverse in the future. And until then, all the best with the project.
I appreciate you, Ashton. Thank you so much.